$0.4 million in the first quarter of 2013, attributed mainly to the project grants.
Developments in the monetary sector indicate that broad money grew by 10.4% in the year to end March 2014 compared to 8.8% a year earlier. This, according to officials, was attributed to the robust growth in the net domestic assets of the banking system to $13.5 billion. The volume of transactions in the foreign exchange market increased to $363.5 million in the first quarter of 2014, and this compared to the first quarter of 2013, volumes decreased by 17.4%.
Consumer price inflation measured by the National Consumer Price Index increased to 5.56% in March 2014, higher than the 5.35% recorded in March 2013. Both food and non-food prices accelerated to 6.42% and 4.3% respectively from 4.78% and 4.12% respectively in March 2013. Core inflation, which excludes the prices of volatile food items and energy, also rose to 5.56% from 5.29% in March 2013.
Inflation is forecast to average 5%. The main upside risks to the forecast continue to come from the exchange rate, which, despite the recent relative stability, remains vulnerable to domestic and external shocks. However, the tight monetary policy stance and stronger pace of fiscal consolidation may reinforce the anchoring of inflation expectations. With all the findings, the Monetary Policy Committee judges that the risks to the projected inflation spurt are roughly balanced, a reason why the committee decided to keep the policy rate unchanged at 20.0%. Future policy stance, he added, will depend on a number of factors, including projected inflation, inflation expectations, the state of the economy, and global developments. Rohibite, Grts.
Following its policy to liberalize the importation of fuel products into the country, government has decided to introduce a license regime. A media release from the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs states that companies with interest in the importation of petroleum products are invited to apply to the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs. Application forms, the release adds, are available during working hours from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The release ends. The Ministry of Health and Social Welfare on Monday received a fully refurbished ward at the Tanka Psychiatric Unit in Salaji. Trust Bank Gambia Limited provided the funds for the refurbishment, and as we hear in this report by Uminjai, the bank also donated second-hand clothing and assortment of drugs to the hospital.
Trust Bank's latest intervention in the health sector saw officials of the bank present a completely refurbished hospital ward at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital Psychiatric Unit in Salaji. The gesture also included donation of second-hand clothing materials, medical items, among a host of others.
So that is how it started, long time ago. And now when I see the results here and also the management and the efforts that everybody has taken here, I'm very proud to see it, how it is maintained, how everything is. I'm very happy to see it. So and I hope that the future will show us that we can go on. And thank you, Trust Bank. Oh, we are so happy with your efforts, what you are doing for us. And you know that we need it, we really need it. But I'm also happy that you have the trust in us.
Trust Bank, according to health officials, has been a great supportive partner to the health sector of the country since its inception. And the handing over of these items, they say, will go a long way in uplifting the health standards of the mentally challenged who live at the center.
These patients need our support, love and care for their recovery process, either at home or at the hospital here itself.
The National Stakeholder Council has been in existence since 2012. Since then, a lot of things have been achieved, certainly far away from what needs to be achieved. But it's made of dedicated Gambians from all walks of life who have in common their love for human beings in general.
The bank has been actively involved in providing for a better health care delivery through their support to the Health Ministry, and this particular presentation, according to Trust Bank's Dudinyang, is set to open up a new partnership with the psychiatric unit. He, however, reaffirmed that they will always render help to the unit whenever the need arises.
If we don't achieve anything else by way of material contribution, if we can draw attention to what transpires here, if we can in some way remove any kind of stigma that people attach to this place, which leads them to turn their back on this place. In short, if we can attract attention to this place, we would have considered it a job well done.
Trust Bank really is a great supportive partner to the health sector in general and our hospitals in particular. Yesterday they started in sanatorium, today here in Tanka Tanka, and tomorrow I wait for them inshallah in the main hospital in Banjul.
Health, they say, requires concerted efforts, and Minister C hailed Trust Bank for yet another laudable gesture, outlining that this is not the bank's first contribution to the health sector.
There's something unique in Trust Bank. They don't come to the ministry and say, "What can we give us business and then we go this way?" They say no. Trust Bank will come and say, for example, the sanatorium. There was a time nobody wanted to even mention the sanatorium. Nobody in this country. It was so deserted, it was so dilapidated that nobody wanted to even have a patient to go there. But go to the sanatorium now. Everybody, you can even sit on the floor and eat.
In another related development, an assortment of medical items was also handed over to the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, courtesy of the World Islamic Cult Society. This is the latest boost to the health sector of the country by a Gambian-owned bank, and gestures like this can serve to enhance service delivery in the health sector. Mentally challenged people need proper support, given the fact that they form part of society. Umijai, Grts.
Officials of the Rotary Club of Fajara recently embarked on a tour of their water and garden projects being implemented in rural Gambia. Samuel Burr accompanies the team, and he reports the club's projects in the past year are faring remarkably.
Officials of the Rotary Club of Fajara is to arm them with first-hand information on the status of their water and gardening projects, which they are jointly implementing with their partners in the United States, to empower local women in hard-to-reach communities in the Central River region.
Rotary is a big fan of women empowerment, and women empowerment actually is a pathway to community development, which is another focus area of Rotary International. Today, Rotary Club of Fajara, in partnership with the Rotary Club of Prior Lake in the USA, they come together to help develop local communities in the Gambia. We reach out to the people of Kudang and help them build garden projects, and then erect or install boreholes to help in their garden projects.
Here, a total of 13 projects are up and running through a community-driven approach. Lively expanses of garden and water projects were crisscrossed, and officials briefed on the success stories and shortcomings of the projects.
Because it's quite key with the projects that are undertaken by our club. Sustainability is a key issue, and that is the reason why we're doing this trip, to ensure that, all the water and garden projects are up and running. Of course, you've been with us when we were visiting the other projects, and some of the project beneficiaries have, informed us of the challenges that they are facing. Principal among those challenges are challenges of pest infestation, insect infestation of the crops. We've taken a sample of the leaves. I intend to perhaps talk to some of the horticultural outfits and get some technical advice in terms of the best.
Clearly, water and sanitation are focus areas of Rotary International in their strive to empowering rural women. Their